Welcome back, everyone, to Two Frat Boys. Jesus Diaz, joined by Anthony.
Anthony Aldaño. Sorry.
No, my bad. Just to quickly set us up, for those of you just tuning in for the first time, we are two men who met in college, who built a business together, and in that process did kind of create history, building some innovative events, innovative magazines, etc. Eventually getting acquired. So we're now catching up the oral history. We're in 2005, the fall of 2005. We've had now 3 years running with the new company, building events for 6 years, a magazine that's highly successful at this stage, and we're talking about the Stroll competition, the national Stroll competition we built out. So Anthony, you want to kick us off with San Antonio?
All right. San Antonio, October 15th. It's our second time back there. We go to Sunset Station at 1174 East Commerce Street in San Antonio, Texas. It was a very cool facility. It was like a Western type of a venue. I'm going to read some data on the event. So it was co-sponsored by Alpha Rho Lambda, Upsilon, from a Chi Upsilon Sigma regional team, Lambda Theta Nu, Our Lady of the Lake. Sigma Lambda Gamma, Sam Houston State, Alpha Psi Lambda, Texas State, San Marcos, Kappa Delta Chi from St. Mary's, with performances by the Cuz regional team, SLG from SHSU, Sam Houston, Lambda Theta Nu from Our Lady of the Lake, Alpha Psi Lambda from Texas State. And here is the recap. Well, let's go to the flyer. So basically, we have here is we put on the flyer 3 organizations on the cover. So we had Chi Upsilon Sigma from the winning team from the prior year in red. Then to the left of her is a Sigma Lambda Gamma. To the right of her is a, what's that? What organization is that, Asus? You know?
Katie Chi.
Yes, Katie Chi. But they're doing like the Chi Upsilon Sigma hand sign, it looks like. So I got confused for a second.
Yeah.
Then on the back of the flyer, we have Omega Psi winners of last year's show in 2004. $1,000 prize cash money giveaway. So here's the recap. Another exciting season of Latinos that began at Sunset Station in San Antonio. With both of last year's San Antonio Stroll champs in attendance and numerous hungry competitors out there. This is Jesus Diaz is writing, by the way. The show was bound to be great. Lambda Sigma Upsilon, Chi Upsilon Sigma dominated the action from the start, outscoring their opponents in each round with 3 great strolls. Latino Step is actually considering retiring from the stroll game, as these 2 teams have won every single show in which they have competed. LSU improved their Silk record to 3-0, while Cuz won their 7th straight Silk to improve to 7-0. It seems that there's no team out there that can beat the kings and queens of Stroll. The big matchup in the fraternity category occurred between LSU and the Q Dogs, who won last year, with Omega Delta Phi hanging around to the final round to take 2nd place over the Q Dogs. LSU had the ladies and crowd pumped with their dominant stage performance and easily took first. Shout out to the SLB team, who in their first LS performance proved that they were no rookies in making it to the 2nd round and narrowly missing the final round cut. Chi Upsilon Sigma did what they have always done, is win. There were only 2 girls on the Stroll team. Wow, they took their 3rd. Wait, they won with 2 girls? Do you remember that? Were you there?
Yeah.
I do not remember that. Maybe I wasn't at this one. 2 girls on the Stroll team. They took their 3rd straight Texas Stroll. That's really shameful of the other organizations. Like to get beat by a 2-person Stroll team. That's crazy. Took their 3rd straight Texas show. San Antonio in 04, Houston in 05, and then back in San Antonio 05. You can bet that more sororities will be coming after them in Dallas, February 06. Oh man, Dallas. Was this the Frankie J concert in Dallas, Texas?
Yes.
Did you go to that show?
No, I never met Frankie J.
Yeah, who cares about Frankie J? I'm saying, why didn't you go to this? Is it money?
No, Frank. At that point, it was like we were only sending 2 people per event.
No. Because Dave and Frank were there because of we did that quiz show. Remember we did that game show with Frankie J before the concert?
I
There,
wasn't
there were a
there.
lot of people in Market. That sucks, man, because I have some crazy stories about that. Anyway, Dallas. So in February of 06, we go to Dallas. Okay. That was a very memorable Dallas. Where they'll continue to, exude their excellence. So here we go. The winning. This is this LSU team was basically team. I forget what show. Remember the show?
That was the San
With
Antonio
this
show.
pictures from?
That show, San Antonio.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
So LSU was on this huge recruiting trip at the time where they felt it necessary to fly their team into not tiny markets, but different markets, small Greek markets, let's just say more accurately, small Greek markets to promote. To the right of them, we have the Kappa Sigma team. Oh, these are the 2 girls that won?
Yeah.
These guys should have a trophy in their honor.
But yeah, I mean, to that point, like that was probably kind of like I give props to LSU and their leadership for identifying that our event could serve as like a very viable marketing campaign for their organization. Like if you have the best team in the planet, like it makes sense to fly them into different cities and let the world see their brilliance and kind of like fall in love with your organization. Like think about it, like even our fraternity wasn't taking advantage of our great events, like they weren't at all, kind of capitalizing on the opportunity, like an opportunity that has not, again, because what we were doing was so different from other organizations, like only people who are like forward thinking might have identified that opportunity and might have felt like, wow, this could be the way we broadcast ourselves beyond New Jersey, because they were very strong in New Jersey, but not strong elsewhere.
I hear you. No, that's one way of looking at it. Yeah. I guess. Yeah. All right. That's cool. We can definitely say that. So again, Cuzzies win. They go to 7-0, which is really crazy. I almost want to do a show just now, just to see if LSU would still win. If we were to do a show and LSU would win that show, like right now in 2022, like I would stop doing shows immediately just to see if they can win. Like if LSU would win this show, I'd be like, all right, they're still dominant, and then like we would stop doing more shows. If another team would win, like let's say, what's a team that would make me want to keep doing shows? I guess LUL, right? If LUL won, I would be like, nah. If LUL won, I'd retire too. It's like, you win when you're on time. You retire when you on a championship.
Well, the interesting thing is, like, I feel like if we did a show now, and it doesn't matter who would win, because there would be so many. I feel like the world of dance and like, men dancing or women dancing, like it has gotten so like prevalent everywhere, like, at award shows, etc. And like, I just feel like more people would come out we'd have many more teams to choose from. I feel like we'd have to narrow, because again, strolling doesn't take long to put together, right?
Can you hear me?
Yes. Oh, I was wondering what was going on there. Yes, I hear you now.
But you're assuming that there's new organizations. You're saying we'd have one more teams, like multiple teams from one org would be.
Yeah, think about it. Social media is much stronger now. It's like all you got to do is tell them, look, we got a cash prize, and we've got, I feel like teams would come out of the woodworks I'm not saying the old teams, I'm saying new groups of people would gather to put together 3 strolls, because 3 strolls could win you $1,000 or whatever the prize or incentive was.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And like back in our day, we had to call up and chase down people. Here, I feel like you put out one really strong promotional thing, like people will get behind it. Maybe hashtag it too, Silk 2022.
Right. Okay. Should we move on?
Yeah.
So after October, we go to California, San Jose to be exact, and Santa Clara County Fairgrounds. Now, I was not at this show, so you must have been at this show, correct?
Yeah.
So why don't you go ahead? I'll share screen so you can see.
Yeah, cool. And I think one of the things we were doing at this time, because you were in business school, is we were alternating, where it made sense. So that one of us was at each show, but who that person was based on kind of availability.
Right.
So yeah, I do remember being at the Santa Clara Fairgrounds. It might have been with Frank actually at the time, who was another one of our partners. And because Collegiate Circuit was working on this one with us, and it was
Collegiate Circuit.
Collegiate Circuit.
Where'd that come from? Collegiate Circuit.
That's how Joe Sandoval from Collegiate Circuit. That's how he used to say it. His voice.
Shout out, and let's pour some Hennessy out for Collegiate Circuit.
C-Fest, man. That was gangster event. I love that.
Is C-Fest still going on?
No. Remember, it got canceled while we were still in the game. It got canceled because some kids had gone down to Mexico and passed away during the weekend. I forget if they drank too much or if they got into some gang action. So they had to end up canceling the event altogether.
So that C-Fest, Collegiate Circuit's event C-Fest, was a great example of like taking advantage of your natural geographical location. Like the fact that they were able to drive a few hours south to another country, Mexico, nice big beach, lenient businesses who were like, yeah, you under 21, no problem. Come through, bars open, do what you want, when you want. And it was a great event, man. C-Fest was back in like these days, like 2005, from 2000 on, I guess. It was legendary. I never got to go to one, which is probably better for me that I didn't end up going. For me, because I tended to have self-control issues when left my own. But did you didn't go to a C-Fest, right?
No, but for those millennials out there who are watching this show, I would say ask your ancestors, ask your big brothers, big sisters, what C-Fest was like. Maybe we get Joe Sandoval.
Yeah, and then you have to see if Collegiate Circuit is still in business or what the Collegiate Circuit of today is.
Yeah. They could probably do one of these on their own too, because they had so many wild stories. I do recall having, a couple of beers with Joe Sandoval of Collegiate Circuit at this event, at other events in the future. And he would tell me story after story of just like random craziness of like them having to figure out how to get keg barrels down across the border. And
what's crazy is that you don't even need to do that. You could just buy your kegs in Mexico. I don't understand why they were doing that.
And there might have been some special reason. I'm not sure. They were like a sponsor for the actual.
No, they were trying to save money by bringing their own beer, maybe.
Who knows? But they were banking. Like from what I recall, like that event they were charging for a whole weekend like $40. And assuming they were getting 10,000 people there, like that's $4 million. Is that right?
No, that's not. No, it's not
400,000 just on that alone.
I mean, it's hard to say. You know how it is, man. Things from the surface look numerically, financially one way, but not everyone was paying. I don't believe. I'd love to find out. They were not raking in 400,000 for over a weekend. There's no way.
I wouldn't.
There's no way.
They were
If that was
also
true, bro, if that was true, that CFES would be going on today, every year religiously.
But you got to remember they were blocking out all the hotel rooms. Like they were literally
Yeah,
going to
I
Mexico
remember
ahead
that.
of their event and blocking out every hotel in the area, like within like the diameter of CFest. They had booked all the rooms, and you had to basically get it through them so that you could have a hotel room. So I think they were making a lot of money, a lot more money. Yeah,
I mean, it's all good.
but
To
yeah.
your point, though, to your point, though, LUL did take advantage of but actually, LUL went to CFest one year, but it wasn't like a national expedition that they were sent. It was, I think, random guys. So to your point of LUL maybe not seeing, but here's the issue though. If you think about like if you want to use it as a marketing tool, like 99% of the people that went to our shows were already Greek. They weren't like deciding what organization to do. So it's almost a little redundant. It's like right, like you're overlapping. It's like people are already Greek. So like, you know what I mean? I agree though that winning championships brings you clientele, brings you customers.
Yeah, and I don't think the percentages were that high, brother, because think about
No?
it. There weren't that many Greeks in, like in it, like the chapters weren't gigantic. Like there were some Greek organizations that had big chapters, but I don't think you pull 1,000 people to an event and 990 were Greek. Like that. And I know I'm being literal here, but like,
No, I know.
but I feel like any marketing is good marketing. Even if you're the guy who pledged an organization and didn't
Great.
necessarily want the letters because it wasn't the best organization, and you see now this baby blue group who is champion, who's doing well. Like I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But
all right, let's get back to Santa Clara Fairgrounds.
Yeah.
Tell me about that event.
So this event, I felt like it was essentially it was gonna fail, not because
I
not
love
because
it. I love that intro.
not because we weren't putting in the work. Like we did everything we could to make it somewhat
How can this
relevant.
event fail? Look at this amazing flyer with women handing machetes about to fucking kill someone.
Yeah, I think you can tell the quality of a show based on the fluff required for the recap. So what I'm about to read is full of
I
fluff.
love that.
And so if you missed this show, you missed the intense women of Lambda, Theta, Nu ripping apart their stage with their strolls and their steps. The 5 strollers worked hard to earn a victory against the tough Sigma Lambda Gamma and Lambda Theta Alpha teams. You also missed the 2 OD5 teams who tied for first place, giving the judges an impossible decision of which team was better. Special shout out to the ladies of Sigma Lambda Gamma who made their debut in Silk, as well as the Phi Beta Sigma team that came in 3rd place in the fraternity category. Lambda Theta Nu is establishing themselves as a top stroll team, and you should look out for them in the LA show this March. Special shout out to Patty Chacon of Omega Phi Beta, the first MC to get booed. The first MC to get booed since Anthony Albano 3 years ago in Chicago 03
What?
step.
I don't even remember this. Did I get booed for real?
Absolutely. I didn't remember it when we covered that show, but who truly held on an enthusiastic audience and gained a lot of male fans in the process. So I think you were there. Weren't you there?
No, I was not, bro. I was not at the Santa Clara. I was at San Jose. Me and you were at San Jose when we did at that restaurant, that Italian restaurant.
So yeah, so I remember now. The benefit to this venue was that there were only 300 seats. So this was an easy fill, but it was we were barely getting to 300 as I remember it.
Why did this show do poorly? Was it the month? It was a bad month to do a show, or what else was going on?
I think the market selection was probably the biggest driver of it. I don't think that Northern Cali, again, we only had 6 teams here. We had 6 teams. We didn't have Omega Phi Beta. We didn't have some of the bigger teams like Sigma and the Gamma. We had Sigma and the Gamma, but a very local team, not the bigger LA team. And yeah, I mean, because FINA and Lambda Theta Nu were on our side and working hard for us, we made this an event, a show. But Yeah, I remember feeling like very before the show, feeling like, man, we're gonna struggle today, but we gotta make it look as
We
good as
used to,
possible.
yeah, we used to take these stuff to heart, man. Like I remember like the amount we cared about these things being attended. It was like we put so much of ourselves into these shows, and then like for my job, what I'm doing today, like I'm in the parks, New York City public parks sometimes, and like I'll walk by these like huge amphitheaters that are just like crumbling down. It's like, damn, it'd be a great for a show, Like
Hmm.
there's one I was there today actually, Coney Island, in Brooklyn. There's an amphitheater off of Surf Avenue. It's like unused. No, it's like homeless people actually are sleeping on the stage.
Oh man.
There's a nice one in Manhattan. Yeah, there's a nice one in Manhattan. I feel like we could even just do like an impromptu like event, just pay some people off to like go away for a few hours. But anyway, yeah, there's a bunch of these amphitheaters in New York City public parks that like are perfect for. There's one in Harlem. There's one on like 125th in like Madison. That's a really nice one, but
Hmm.
like homeless of like control run that stage.
Oh, geez.
Um, but anyway,
Yeah, no, but you're right. You're right about taking it to heart. Like it was almost like it definitely was stressful. It definitely was anxiety inducing for me. Like I remember missing a few hours of sleep the night before
really,
shows because I knew not in shows that we were confident we were going to do well in, but like the ones that were a struggle, like those I could not sleep the night before knowing like, oh my God.
isn't it silly how like you look back to and what was your response to that?
Yeah, no, what I was saying is that even today, if we did another show today, I would feel equally anxious. Like I get anxious over, I get silly
You
things
are
like keep
crazy.
me up at night. Like I'm serious, like not the
You
important
know,
stuff.
yeah,
The important stuff I can
not
sleep through.
the important stuff. That makes no sense, bro. That makes no sense. I don't understand. All right, let's move on. So we're done. Anything you want to talk about San Jose? The show tanked. You couldn't sleep, and we're back in Miami for December 2003. That's what I'm saying. Oh, and we have your boy Sean Select, DJ Sean Select, the resume. Remember his the mixtape, the resume. Let's show. Let's bless our viewers with this little cover of. By the way, can you hear 2 7-year-old girls like screaming and
Yes,
running around in my house?
all good. Yes, but yeah,
Oh, you can. Okay.
Sean Select was
Thought it
probably
was more discreet than that.
no, Sean Select was probably my favorite DJ that we ever used. Just personality wise, like I really thought the brother was
That's
like
bananas.
I
Oh,
thought he was like real, from day one that I met him.
all right. Here's your boy. I don't know how many conversations you had with this guy, but I did not get that vibe from him at all. I thought he was fine, like nothing, and music was okay. The DJ that I love the music of, which DJ I love, my boy Cosmo from Chicago, and I tried actually Google searching him, and it was a negative end. It did not find success with finding him. This is Jesus's favorite DJ of all time, DJ Song Select. Go out, get his mixtape. It's called The Resume. Sean Select's probably a lawyer right now,
Hmm.
bringing in bank, bro.
Yeah,
All right,
the dude had massive personality, and I think that's what I appreciated more. Cosmo may have better music selection for sure. I'm not disagreeing with that, but
Cosmo had no personality. He had zero
yeah, right,
personality.
right. So what he
But I didn't
lacked is
care, man.
yeah.
That's my style, man. I prefer substance over fucking bullshit, over fluff.
I like personality, man. You get so far in my world with personality.
All right,
But
here we are. So Saturday, December 3rd, Florida International University. I vaguely remember being here. Do you remember this show? I think I
yeah,
was outside.
this one got canceled initially. So the FIU was a backup venue, and we had to push the show like a couple of weeks, as I remember. I forget. I think it was a hurricane or something that kind of came up that we pushed it
Was
back. It
I
wasn't.
at this show?
Yeah, you were there. You were at FIU with me. I remember.
I don't remember the show very well, but I'll do my best to
Either
recap
that or
something I don't remember.
Diana might have been there with me at this one because she was wanting to go to Florida always. So yeah, there it is, Wilma. So Hurricane Wilma wiped it out the first time we tried to do it, and then we had to just reschedule.
Silk, Saturday, December 3rd, Miami. After Wilma wiped out, right. Latino Step came back to FIU a month later and brought together over 500 fans to watch the Kings of Stroll dominate yet again with the first and only perfect score ever in their final stroll. They took the decision out of the judges' hands and made it clear that there was a team close. Special shout out to Will Hatcher's Phi Beta Sigma team for placing second and Lambda Upsilon for third place finish. The sorority category, on the other hand, was closer than it has ever been. 2 points separated first and third. That's crazy. First and third place, as LTA and OPC and MSU left it all on stage and kept it amazingly tight. The crowd wanted to see a stroll off to break the tie, but there has not been one in LS history. Shout out to all the orgs that represented, including Lambda Theta Phi salute team who brought down the house during an intermission with a crisp synchronized salute. Shout out to the show and after party MC, DJ Sean Select, for doing his thing. Sean Select was a Sigma and the Beta as well, earning him the coveted MC position at Silk 5 National Stroll Championship this June. Man, did you fly this guy into to the summer show? Sounds like you did.
You were. That was your last event, Hunter College. So yeah, he was at the event.
And that closes off 2005.
Yeah, and I want to say that as we headed into 2006, again, that Miami show was maybe 500 people attendance. The Santa Clara right before that was 300. You know, there was some nerves about whether or not we could again continue. Like maybe I was overthinking it at the time, but like I wasn't sure that we were going to be able to sustain, because we thought strolling was going to be the future, the easy shows to put together, but we started to realize that some of the markets weren't yet ready or weren't built for stroll competitions in the way we like to do them, you know. So we knew Texas had, you know, one market, usually we could do a great show. New York obviously was our backyard, so we were confident there. But everywhere else, it was just like LA also had become a confident market for us. But everywhere else, we were just not, we just couldn't predict what was going to happen pretty much attendance wise. So I remember going into 06 as we turned the new year, it just became more of a question mark as to could we really do this in the right way? And I think that's why in Dallas coming up at the start of 06, we try to infuse Frankie J and a different kind of element to our shows to drive more attendance. But what do you recall at the end of 05?
I don't think I ever worried about it that intently, like, oh, what are we going to do for next year? I felt like we were given a task to just crank out shows, and I think it was more quantity over quality. So it's like, yeah, I may have felt some pressure, but again, like looking back on it, I'm like, whatever, man. Like you can't expect 1,000 people to attend when you're promoting this, you're promoting events. It's just a lot to ask for from college students. Yeah, I mean, I felt like right now looking back and I'm like, it was what it was, man. We did the best we can do, and no one could have done a better job than we were doing to market, produce, advertise, sell, do everything from A to Z to produce the whole show. So